You don't want to do that. I do. I like how I look. So who are you to tell me how I look is wrong if I like it?
I think that what I love most about you is how versatile you are. How you can move from this Teni to another Teni and another one, and effortlessly so, you know. And so let's talk about your humor, your style. One of the things people know and love about you is your comedy, your skits, and your humor. Uh, while preparing for this episode, a lot of humor, and I kept on saying to myself, how does she do it? How do you move from this person to this person? And you don't really, it comes across like you don't really care. You're a superstar. There are things that you shouldn't do. But you're there in skits, you're there in this viral moment where you're asking Davido to borrow you a car. Like what? Don't you take yourself seriously?
Well, my life is mine, right? And mine to live, not by anyone's standards.
Yeah.
I lost my dad at such a young age, so I was exposed to death quite early. So I feel like that really just impacted the way I see life from such a young age to know like, oh, excuse my French, I'm not going to be here forever, right? So I've just always wanted to just live life on my own terms, and like, why you gotta make the rules for me? I make the rules of how I live my life. You don't get to do that. This is my time, it's my life, it's my soul, it's my spirit, it's my experience, you know?
It's interesting because that's the next question I'm about to ask you. Of course, we will come to your precious dad's memory. But just staying on authenticity and living life in your own terms, giving yourself absolute freedom.
Because there's a special.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks.
Why?
Let's talk about your style. You've presented yourself as this really bold person. You're not the regular female artist in appearance or in style or in fashion. How have you been able to sustain that, especially in your industry where there is need for conformity, sort of, especially as a female artist, a superstar, a celebrity? There's the expectation to look feminine or to appear so. But you have said, I don't really care about this is my own style. How have you been able to sustain that pressure not to conform in the context of your industry and in your business?
Just do it. You just wake up and do what the you want to do.
I love
it. I don't wear makeup. No beans to people that do, right?
Yes.
I think I'm beautiful enough to stand.
Absolutely.
I think I got good skin. I think I got a nice smile. I gotta brush my teeth. And when I smile, I got dimples.
Great dimples.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm complete. In my standards, when I was big, let me not say fat. Oh, shit, I was big shit. But when I was chubby, I thought I was the most beautiful. And I think that's why I even got bigger than that, because in my turn, to be fine.
Yeah.
Until I felt like I wasn't. Right? So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how else to be but myself. Me, I can wear. My mom still tell me I'm crazy. Because I wear gold earrings on silver. Well, my mom's like, you're not supposed to do that. But I'm like, who said that?
Who set the standard?
You don't want to do that. I do. I like how I look. So who are you to tell me how I look is wrong if I like it? That's unfair. That means you want to kill me. That means you don't want me. That's wickedness. Because when you don't want a person to be themselves and you want them to be like you might as well just kill me. You're already sentencing them to death before their time.
Now let's talk about this beautiful relationship that you have with your dad and how you described your dad, and then unfortunately, his passing in a very traumatic and tragic way, but also how that led again to another song, that song, which was written, you said, after watching, your father being assassinated. I'm just thinking how traumatic that would have been. But take us through that process, that birth, that just focusing on the song. So what are the words?
Song. I was working on my album, and I have so much love. By the way, I didn't have a relationship with my dad because he passed when I was 2. But we did have a relationship, but I was just 2 years old.
Yeah.
But the relationship I have with my dad is in death. And I feel like it's even deeper because I feel him more even in death, with so much respect, so much love. He's never left my side, I promise you, I swear. I'm not even joking though. He has never for once not been by my side. As I'm here like this self, he's here.
I believe you.
I swear to God, he's here with me because we're guys like that. Because I really respect a man with vision and foresight. For him to die and I'm still able to eat, I was still able to live a very, very, very beautiful, comfortable life. Summers outside Nigeria. I was able to go to school outside Nigeria. I went to school in America. For you to leave that type of legacy, thank you. It's like, thank you for looking out for me. Because some people's dad pass away and then that's the end for them. Like, not the end, but there's no like there's no template for them to still be able to enjoy life, be able to eat, be able to, so it's like that respect is eternal for me forever. I'll forever be grateful to him for thinking about me and my siblings, of course. But I wrote that song. When I wanted to make the song, I was in my living room. The producer was in my living room as well. And I was like, I need to honor my dad. This is my first project. I need to make a song about him. And obviously, genes as well. The way I am and some things I've been able to be of my person, they come of my person. Also, some things come from him because my mom is like, Iwa baba lele. And they're good traits and good attributes, which I'm grateful for. So I was like, I want to honor my dad. And the producer was there. So I have the video, the CD of his funeral. It's always with me. So I watch it from time to time. And then I put it on, we watched it, and then the song came. We finished it. That's how that song came. Guess what? I'm dropping my first album in a bit.
Thank you for letting us know that. We will be anticipating.
No, that's what I said on that.
The song.
Yes.
That tells you that I'm so out of.
No, that's like,
Okay. Okay. And so, still staying on your father and legacy, but on a positive note, we also saw this viral moment when you went back to your school, your alma mater. You didn't plan to, yes, you went with your uniform.
oh yeah.
And the students didn't know, obviously, that you were coming. And you surprised them dressed in the school uniform. That same school, of course, is the school where you went to yourself. And so it was not just returning to your father's legacy, but it's also reliving your memory there once as a student. And you surprised all of them there. I can imagine I come to school and here's a superstar dressed like me, reminding me that, oh, I can become the superstar. And in that moment, there were 3 of them, I believe, that I saw who sang, and then you gifted one with scholarship. Is it a thing of keeping your father's legacy? Or is that also who you are? Easy to connect with people, easy to relate with people, easy to get in touch with people and see people for who they are?
I'll just answer the question with a Yoruba proverb.
Okay, who's going to translate? Okay, please go ahead.
So there's a Yoruba proverb that says, Omo ole joba ba katuma binu omo. So you cannot be like your father and people will be angry. So I'm like my father, that's who I am. That's why I said I'm grateful to him for passing down good genes, good attributes, like humanity. My father used to see people, my father would just be driving and he will see people on the road and he'll just like, you come here, what do you need? Here you go. Or he'll be like, your kids need to go to school. Okay, let them come to my school. My father think, like, I can't even be the one to explain. You have to go and ask about, you have to go and ask. Like, if I ever get lost, all I have to do is tell them my last name. They'll take me home.
I love that.
I swear they will take me to the front of my father's house.
How does that make you feel?
Really good, because they say something in Yoruba, I'll say it in English. When you have kids, you have to watch what you do. You have to watch how you are, because then your kids end up inheriting any bad you do, any good you do. That's why in the Bible it says, till your 7th generation. Abi, am I wrong?
You're correct.
Right?
Yes.
So if you think you're doing something and you're just going to do it and go with it, somebody's going to have to take the fall for it, either good or bad. So if you do good, your generation soon collect the good. If you do bad, same, take it.
Interesting. Let's talk about education. I mean, you studied business administration.
Yes.
In a university outside of this country in the US.
Yes.
And at what point did you think that, you know what, I'm done with this business administration, I'm going to do my music thing? That's one. The second thing is you have safe plan. Like you said, your father graciously made the way, if I could put it that way, such that you had a template to follow. You were not stranded, if I put it that way. So which means that you could have really stayed back in America and living your best life. I'm not saying that people don't live their best life in Nigeria, but why are you here? Why are you committed to this place?
I always tell people this. Music chose me.
So you didn't choose it?
I chose it too because I love it, but it chose me first. It found me. As a child, as a 3-year-old child, the governor of Lagos State at the time, Governor Bubamawa, came to see me in my school.
Because you were singing?
Because I was drumming. Yes, he was a military governor. Do you know Governor Bubamawa?
I heard of him.
Yes. Mawa came to my school to see me twice. Not once, twice.
Interesting.
Yes. So music chose me. Music follows me anywhere I go, I say.
See you, but I love husband and wife is right. I love it.
I'm telling you, I say, you think I'm joking, but not serious.
Yeah. So you would have been doing yourself a great service if maybe you said
I'd be so unhappy and unfulfilled and all the put on in front of all the words in his dictionary. Unaccomplished, unhappy,
unsatisfied.
All the UNs put it at the back of all the words.
So you would say you're in the right place and where you should be?
Because I would do this for free. I used to sing with homeless people in uni for fun. That was what I used to do on Fridays. Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, I'm downtown. I'm trust me, we're jamming like guitar. Because those homeless guys are so talented. They used to play. Do you guys have that in Germany? I never.
Yes. But mostly during Christmas, in the Christmas market.
The most talented people,
yeah,
I swear, are homeless people.
True.
I'm not even joking.
I agree.
I would just go downtown and we would jam for hours. I'll be singing, freestyling, they'll be playing, people will be giving us money.
Yeah.
I'll leave the money for them, obviously. and I'll go and I'll also give them some stuff. But that was where I knew, like, people used to think I was mad. Like, you're not okay.
Because what is this you're doing?
What are you doing with homeless people? But it brought me joy and fulfillment, and I was happy. And after sometimes I'll take them out to like dinner. Like we'll go out to dinner, like high top restaurants. Sometimes they'll be like, the homeless people cannot enter. Well, then if they cannot enter, you can't get my money. So they'll let them in.
Yeah.
About like 10 guys. All of us will have dinner. Yeah.
Again, if I go back to the experience of last December, I remember that when you had finished performing and people were leaving and the officers were trying to guide you where to go, you just went your way into the court, the football court, tennis court, whatever it is, at basket, and you were playing with them. And I'm like, how don't you realize you're in the prison and something could go wrong? But I guess that's who you are.
So I have really strong instincts, right? And I bless God for that. I swear to God, if something is going to go wrong, my mind is going to tell me, I will know. I will not be there. Or I will not even feel like playing basketball. But I know, like, I'm safe. Like, and plus, if anything goes wrong, that means God is not God. Because I came here to do something good.
Yeah.
Right? And God will never put me in a place of harm or unsafety. And if that's what's supposed to go down, then it's God's will for it to go down. As I have like this, so I cannot be stressed.
I love that.
Mama, no stress. This is my life because I've worked hard. I've worked so hard. So why do I work so hard to come out of stressed? Not fair.
I agree with you. It's not fair. I also don't subscribe to that stress.
Stress is a killer.